I'm Mike.
Are we starting?
We're already going.
Oh, okay.
I'm Mike.
I'm Angelo.
We're here to pump.
We're not starting
What is
that
this
way.
guy? All right, I'm Mike.
I'm Angelo.
Gonna show you some techniques. Grab my wrist, my other wrist. All right, we're probably really back now. I'm Mike. This is Angelo, my professor of Supreme Professors, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We are here at Warrior Way in Commerce in Michigan. So if you are not a lazy piece of crap, you should be here with us training on the mats as often as possible, especially if you were in law enforcement. If you didn't see our last video, it was three excuses. Three
Yep,
excuses
top three
cops
excuses.
often make to not train. So go back and watch that if you haven't seen that. And we're going to be continuing a series of videos as we go. And Professor here showed me a video of a guy, a police officer, getting caught in a situation where a young guy was pulling away from him. And that is like actually 90+% of all of the physical encounters a cop is going to have with someone. It isn't the worst case scenario. It isn't the fight to the death. Now, I'm not saying at all that we shouldn't prepare for that. We shouldn't think about that. But the reality is that most of the time, the reason we're getting to that point is because we may have not thought about things along the way from the very beginning.
Right.
So I asked him to sort of like lay a foundation a little bit about what are some of the basic things for one of the most common situations we find ourselves in, which would be where someone is going to go to jail, right? This is the starting point for where we should be. Now, for me, I wouldn't prefer to be on this side because my gun is on that hip. So I would normally be on this side if possible. In a perfect world. It's not always a perfect world. But here we are. So I'd like you to kind of explain when I'm here, sort of like what are the things that I need to be thinking about before you try to get away from me, as it were.
So the one thing, like you mentioned, the video we were talking about, the mistake the person had was he only had one hand on the suspect here. So, you know, like you were saying, being aware of your surroundings, and this was in a parking lot, I believe. So, you know, the idea of me being able to break away and get away is a reality, right? So, like you said, just working yourself here. And now the idea is, you know, you don't want to get into a pulling match, right, like this,
back and forth.
And you just want to think of connecting to here. So you're in a good base, and you're already strong. You see how like he's pulling himself to me. So if anything escalates from here, and I decide to try to pull away from Mike, he's just going to close that distance and connect to me, right?
So 2-on-1 is key, not like.
Right, and I mean, this
Hey,
is what
buddy.
it was, right? This
You're
is what
going
it
to
was,
jail.
and then it started to turn into
Exactly.
a
It turns
tug of
into
war.
that tugging match.
Right.
And so the 2-on-1 is huge because at least if I miss this one, I have this one. If I miss this one, I have this one, and I can re-grip with the other one. And then like you said, be in base.
Yep. And
make sure that I'm not leaving my arms out here just to pull my arm.
And this is the first thing we teach anybody in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is just how to position ourselves. So now, like if I'm pulling all of Mike's body, and he's anchored pretty well into the ground here.
And I'm hustling.
Yeah. So, you know, if I'm going to try to pull, like we said earlier, if I pull away from him, I have to drag, and you see I'm pulling myself now out of position. And if I am overpowering him, just like he did earlier, he's going to come with me. That's Jiu-Jitsu 101 principle. We don't fight what the person is doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, from that position, that could happen. You know, different takedowns or different techniques to gain control. But that almost like doesn't even matter, right? Because if we make the mistakes early on, if we're not thinking about those real foundational principles, then we get ourselves in a situation to where now we're playing catch up. And that situation, Dave's back there. Put the camera on Dave. Dave, is that not 90% of what we do is when people just don't want to go to jail?
100%.
100% of the time, it's 90% of the time. It's Police Panther. I know that it sounds like, well, what did you even teach me in this video? Well, go back and watch it, because those just simple principles alone would save a lot of police officers a lot of headache in a really, really common situation. So, yeah. Anything else to add?
I just want to, you know, kind of making this shameless jiu-jitsu plug. you know, the more jiu-jitsu you do, you realize the less you actually need. And, you know, we send videos back and forth to each other and kind of like analyze them after the fact. And, you know, it always breaks down to just some basic jiu-jitsu concept that had that officer known, it could have been a completely different situation. So yeah, that's why we just feel it's so important for everybody, but especially law enforcement officers to train jiu-jitsu.
Guys, if you are in this area, if you are anywhere near Commerce, I drive like 40 minutes with no traffic here, so if I can do it, you can do it. I hate it here for the most part because I get tortured every time I come, but it's worth it in the end. So thanks, Professor Angelo, and thanks, Professor Dave. And thanks to you guys. I love you. Not really. Kind of care less. Okay, good day. So, guys, if you are still watching, Dave has decided to show a secret addition to this set. So, the people that bail early on the videos, you're out of luck. You guys, you're the real MVP. Here we go. All right, Dave.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You were gonna explain the technique to beat all technique.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay. Just show us what you were gonna show us.
Well, I was just saying that there's times where sometimes when you have to put your hands on somebody and they're like this is a horrible grip right here, right? So technically this is where if you're going to grip like that, you're going to be here, like we were saying, like this.
Yeah.
But you'll see this sometimes. Why is this a mistake? Go ahead, just come around on me.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
This here now, I'm the one in trouble, right?
Yeah.
So be careful when you're grabbing onto somebody, because I want to. If you're going to grab like that, I can come like this too. You know, that's a little bit different. But again, I have this hand here to prevent somebody from coming this way, and also to kind of protect against somebody trying to hit me too. But there's nothing protecting the side of my head besides this shoulder. But you know, somebody coming over here with a hit, a punch with your left. So go ahead like this. It's going to take you right now. So just, again, be careful. So try not to get your grips mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So here, this is okay. I can
Right,
actually...
if I start moving this way,
right,
you have to
I can
block.
do that. I can come into you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is kind of useless. So I can come here, but all I'm doing if I pull you here is bring it to my back. That's all right. That was going to be better than Angelo, so...
Judge for yourselves. Judge for yourselves. I can't say anything because
wait.
both of them will kill me.
I love you.
Gordon Ryan, I'll kill you. Calling you out.